If you've never worked with a career coach or hired anyone to help you in your career, you might be wondering what the fuss is all about. Is it something that is even worth it? In this episode of ReImagining Ambition, I'm sharing 5 reasons you might want to consider hiring a career coach or other career professional as you navigate seasons of transition and growth in your career. Your relationship to work and your career have changed over the last few years, and that means the same old career advice just won't do. I'm Jenn Walker Wall, career strategist, resume writer, and founder of Work Wonders Careers. If you're looking to ditch overthinking and hustle culture and pursue work and life in alignment with your values and priorities, you're in the right place. Welcome to ReImagining Ambition. Welcome back to ReImagining Ambition. I am Jenn Walker Wall, your host and of course founder of Work Wonders Careers. And today's episode was actually suggested by a longtime client. Shout out to you. I know you're listening. This was actually a great opportunity for me to sit and think about what I think and what our clients have shared with us has been so valuable about working together. The first thing that a coaching engagement enables or creates, just by virtue of it existing, is the ability to hold space. Chances are you have a manager that has a sense of your professional goals. You probably have friends who are helpful to vent to. You might even have parents or family members with very strong opinions about how you should take your next steps. But one of the most significant ways a career coaching engagement can add value is just by holding space for you to reflect on your own experience and connect with your own needs, priorities, and values more clearly. One thing clients say, I don't think I go a day without hearing, "Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. I'm not making any sense." But what I think is so funny about these instances is that actually people are making lots of sense. They're finally taking time and space to surface and externalize and share what is going on for them, where they're feeling stuck, what the kind of paradoxes are in terms of their needs and desires. And all of that has to happen for us to make any progress in the right direction. There aren't a lot of places where you can be both honest about your experiences and use that information to effectively make change. And that's what we want to do. You might spend a lot of time in any given session with a career coach talking about things, but the point is that you're sort of putting them on the table. There are pieces in the game here. There are pieces of the puzzle that we are going to want to reconfigure somehow. Just the nature of having sessions. And this might be private sessions, it might be group calls, it might even look like resources that you complete on your own time. You're able to start communicating what's on your mind and what feels honest and true for you. This could be a conversation, it could be things that happen in writing. And the goal here is that we need a starting point, we need a North Star. And what I often say to clients, especially after our first call, is this is an excavation process for a lot of us. There's many layers to kind of dig into here. And what we want to do is not just do the digging and not just surface all this stuff, but figure out where the opportunities are to leverage things, to hone in on things, to double down on things, to release things. And that only happens when you hold space for yourself. There are a lot of people with opinions about your career. I often am privy to a lot of advice people are getting from very well-intentioned people. But part of my job is to help people make sense of that. And that only happens when we have the space for that. And the goal is to help us answer 2 key questions. What do we want? And what kind of process will help us get there? The second thing that a career coach can offer is strategy and expertise. Our team has experience in hiring, HR, leadership development, workforce development. At this point, we also have 10 years of working with clients who are in transition. And so people come to us to leverage that expertise. So one thing you might want to ask yourself is, do you need an updated and effective resume, cover letter, or LinkedIn profile? Do you want insight on the search and hiring process? Do you want resources and milestones that have been used and proven to help make the job search process easier? Do you want to learn best practices for managing your career transition while navigating competing priorities? Do you want to be proactive in your career planning? Do you want to take on a career transition that maybe includes working for yourself? Do you need help and support navigating conflict or communicating effectively at work? These are the sorts of things people come to us for. Now, there's a lot of other career coaches out there. They are experts in a lot of other things. So I think subject matter expertise is a very good reason to select a career coach or professional. We have resume writing available as a standalone service. It's not really a coaching service because sometimes people come and they know what jobs they want and they just need someone to do the work of helping them have the right assets to get there. So those people know they need a subject matter expert, but not necessarily a coach. And that's totally appropriate for a lot of people. If these sorts of things are important to you, you might want to make sure that someone has the right background and services to help you actually meet your goals. The third reason to work with a career coach is what I'm calling personalization. At a 30,000 foot view, 98% of job searches really look the same. We're applying online, we're talking to people in our networks, like you know the drill. But up close, how they are operationalized really can be very different depending on a number of factors: your industry, your career stage, your goals, your experience, how long it's been since you last job searched, your health challenges, or your personal life, right? Most people have a lot of challenges and goals in common, but everyone has their own unique goals and challenges as well. And so when you are working with a coach, you are getting personalized advice, right? Like you're not just listening to a podcast episode and kind of getting this information that's good for most people at a high level. You're figuring out how to best operationalize it for you. So you take this very general advice of best practices and figure out what it needs to look like in your case. The fourth reason you might want to consider working with a career coach as you navigate growth and transition is accountability. I think that having accountability is probably make or break for like 85% of the people that I work with. I sometimes joke I could sell a service where I show up at your house and just stand over your shoulder as you do the work of your job search. That's how important accountability is. And a lot of times when I'm on a consult call or hearing from people, they'll say like, I'm not meeting my commitments to myself. And I know that by working with someone and having someone to, share things with, and I don't want to say like report to, because that's not really how I think about accountability, but having that external person sort of involved in your search really makes a very big difference in whether you show up for yourself sometimes. And that's a big reason people share that they work with us. And I think it's a big reason that people are successful. A lot of our clients are people who are actually very, very reliable. They are phenomenal at meeting deadlines and deliverables for other people. But when it comes to prioritizing their own goals and their own deliverables that will help kind of propel their career forward, that can feel a lot more challenging. Every person we work with has their own challenges when it comes to execution. A way that personalization and accountability kind of work together, in my view, is like we figure out what is possible. What can you do? How can we build momentum? If we don't have the perfect working conditions, what is possible? How can we make progress here? And that's really important. Accountability isn't just about doing the work and getting the stuff done. Sometimes it's also just a reminder, like, actually, you have to take care of yourself. I know that's terribly inconvenient. It's inconvenient. I agree. Like, it's inconvenient for me to take care of myself as well, especially when I have things to do. But the truth is, like, the job search or any kind of career goal, you're starting your own business, starting a side hustle, going for a promotion, like, if you're going to do any of the activities related to that, you need to be taking care of yourself. You're the main asset here. So that's sometimes what accountability is too, is it's just a reminder to like, hey, I know you're working hard. You need to be resting hard too. And then the fifth reason that I think working with a career coach can be so helpful and transformative is what I'm calling setback recovery. And I want to distinguish it from accountability because I do think there's an element of accountability in this. What all successful career transitions and job searches have in common is that they keep going. If you stop, you will probably not land a new job. You will probably not have your own business. And one of the reasons that I think people get derailed and do quit is that there are a lot of setbacks and disappointments in this process. Like, no one really gets out of this without some degree of rejection, implicit or explicit, right? And so it's not really easy to just keep going. And one thing that we spend a lot of time with our clients working on is setback recovery. How are we metabolizing the setback and disappointment? Depending on the nature of your search, there just will be missed opportunities, personal issues that prevent you from fully engaging, the ongoing stress of just having a search or a transition in progress. And working with a coach can help you make meaning and learn from these experiences and remind you to rest and recover rather than letting them fully take over and make you feel like your goals are just a lost cause. This work is very emotional, okay? Like, I see a full range of emotions each and every day in my line of work. And I think we forget that. It's such a tactical effort. And even most of the ways that I talk about it, we focus on the tactics. We focus on the strategies. This is gut-wrenching sometimes. This is painfully hard sometimes. It has really great moments too, right? But you really have to get through a lot of trials and tribulations. Okay, this is a great journey for a lot of people. The good news is that I don't think people have a lot of job searches in their life that are painful, that are difficult. If you look at our alum, people who've worked with us previously, I think you'll see that they completely change their approach more often than not when it comes to managing how they think about career growth, change, and transition. So when people are really in it, one thing I always say is like, you're probably not going to be here again. I see people coming in and they're learning in the short term how to generate opportunities. And what they're learning in the long term is how to generate opportunities consistently and proactively so that they're not having a great journey on their next job search. They're having a more passive one. They're having a more prepared one. They're having a more proactive one. But none of that takes away from the emotional toll, the exhaustion, the stress of some people's job searches. I'm really finding that it's becoming more the norm. And maybe I'll do an episode on that. But, in the last year, job searching has been really freaking hard for a lot of people. For everyone, no. But there's a lot of things. I've seen more people on performance improvement plans than ever before in my entire practice. Like the first 9 years of my coaching practice, I would have maybe one person on a performance improvement plan. I mean, I saw probably a dozen people last year on a performance improvement plan. There's layoffs that are going on. Hiring has slowed down in some spaces, and having some support in navigating that, or having someone acknowledge like, yes, this is hard. This is hard for a lot of people, I think can be really helpful in sort of getting you back to the place where you can keep going. If you have visited us online, www.workwonderscareers.com, you'll know that we offer a variety of ways to work with our team. And I just want to share and recap the ways that you can work with us and engage us, and what services we have you can access that make the most sense for your goals and needs. One of the easiest, one of the most budget-friendly, and also the most time-friendly, energy-friendly ways to work with us is by participating in our workshops. And we're actually just about to kick off a winter workshop series, which includes our winter reflection retreat, We have our career alchemy workshop happening in February. We have stargazing. We're actually using our natal chart to do career reflection and planning. And then resume magic happening in April. So these are easy ways to plug in, get access to expertise, access to space for reflection and direction, access to some accountability, even though it's not long-term ongoing accountability. Sometimes coming to a workshop really helps people kickstart or jumpstart their efforts. And because we do have time for Q&A always, there's personalized feedback. Of course, it's not the same as working with a coach for 3 months, but it is a way to access that in a budget-friendly, time-friendly, energy-friendly sort of way. And as you're listening to this, we're probably getting very close to our actual winter reflection retreat. And we would love to have you there. It's such a warm space. And if you need space held for your own reflection and surfacing of priorities and insights, I would grab a ticket to that. I want to tell a quick story about our winter reflection retreat. Last year was the first year that I sent out resources ahead of time. We have like this little PDF with some reflection questions based on people's goals or intentions for the year. And we wanted to give that to people ahead of time so that they could show up having done some work already and make use of that. But the other thing that we did is we opened up the retreat day 30 minutes early so that if people didn't have time to complete that on their own, that they could just come and plug in and we would be holding space. Quite literally, I logged on early. I welcomed people as they came in, and people started doing their journaling and reflection in that 30-minute block that we had as before we kicked off the retreat. And I actually thought I was going to be sitting in the room by myself for 30 minutes, which would have been totally fine. 100% of the people who registered turned out for like the free 30-minute quiet self-reflection piece. And I thought that was so interesting because in my mind, I'm like, no one's going to come to this. They've got the workbook ahead of time. They're going to be doing things ahead of time. Like no one's going to need this, but I'm offering it just in case. And everybody came. And that really reminded me how important it is to have space held for your goals. Because the reality is even though these people purchased tickets, like these are paid events. Everyone purchased a ticket. Part of the value of that experience is holding space for you to do the things you mean to do and really have trouble doing or don't know how to do, right? Because we also provided the prompts. So we gave people a little direction, a little strategy to kind of gently nudge people in the right direction. So all of that to say, I actually think workshops can be very powerful. I think retreats can be very powerful. I do not think it's a replacement for working with people one-on-one, but that doesn't mean it can't be very helpful. Another very accessible offering we have is our Job Search Club. We are actively enrolling for that through February 5th. And this is a way to offer what we offer our private clients, right? All those things I just mentioned, the setback recovery, the accountability, the strategy, the holding space, all of that in a group format. We have twice monthly live coaching sessions. I facilitate most of those calls. They're some of my favorite calls that I do every month. We have resources to help people write resumes, tailor resumes, prepare for interviews, write cover letters, network. Like we have all these resources available on demand so you can access them whenever makes the most sense for you. We offer opportunities to get personalized feedback on your resume. We have co-working sessions. We do some occasional accountability threads. So there's all kinds of ways to access what we offer in our private coaching and strategy services in a group format, making it more budget friendly for a lot of folks, making it a lot of our private clients will sometimes continue in our job search club just to continue to operationalize and execute and have some support for that. So I just think it's a really great way to help people maintain the work that they need to be doing to see results in their job search. As I mentioned, some people might not need a coach. You might be thinking like, all I heard that I need is like a little strategy, expertise, and personalization. I know what I want. I know what I need to do to get there. I just need someone to take the dirty work off my plate. I don't want to update my own resume. So if that's you, you might be best served by our resume writing services and sessions. So if you go to our site and you click the work with us, you'll see that we have 3 tiers of resume writing support. We have a fully done for you, like high-end option where me and my team will do the heavy lifting for you. And you'll have a chance to kind of help us collaborate. And we have a structured format for that we've been using for years. But we also have a 75-minute Resonate session where we'll just have a session together and make 75 minutes worth of improvements to your resume. And that is also very powerful. And especially for people who, find a job that they want to apply for quickly, that's probably the fastest way to get a good, strong resume revision done by us. And then, of course, we have our meat and potatoes of our offerings. Our most popular services are our job search strategy services. We have Refresh, we have Align, and we have Elevate. And Align and Elevate have definitely been very busy for they're our most popular services, but especially in the last couple of years, working with us privately has been a priority for a lot of people. If you're like, yes, I want to work with someone and I don't want to write my own resume, please check out Align and Elevate. Elevate actually includes a done-for-you resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn. All those revisions are included and done for you. We will teach you how to maintain those assets, obviously. And Align includes a resume revision. And it's just a way to fully maximize all of these pieces. You have private sessions. You have access to resources. You have email support because we're looking at your resume and all the iterations and answering questions as you navigate the job search process. You also get access to our job search club as a private client. So I'm not sure if everyone knows this. I would say about 50% of our private clients take advantage of it. But it's a really nice way to kind of extend the number of touch points, to have that, additional accountability. I also, I didn't say this as one of the 5 things. I guess it would have been a 6th thing, but having some community and connection and support, people really, A, they love helping each other, and B, they love to know they're not the only ones that are struggling with something. And to have, the Job Search Club folks who are super lovely and really engaged, be there not just for themselves, but really interested in everyone's success is like really a lovely thing. I think those calls are really energizing. And I think that's why private clients take advantage of them, because they're good, they're helpful. I'm going to list our services for you. I'll link to each of the services I mentioned in the show notes. If you're listening to this and you're like, I want help, but I don't actually know which one is right for me, please just come to the website and complete an assessment request. You will upload your resume, you'll share more about your challenges and goals, and you'll submit that form to us, and me and my team will take a look at that, and we will respond with some suggestions for moving forward. If you want a consult, that is also the form that you need to complete in order to get on our calendar and hear more and get that consult. So I would love to hear from people. It's absolutely no problem at all to reach out and be interested and just not know what is right for you. So we have the assessment form linked on all of our service pages. And we are, like I said, enrolling for the Job Search Club right now. And we do have some bonuses for folks who enroll straight to the Job Search Club. I'm doing 30-minute sessions for the first 5 people who register. The bottom line is people come to us for the strategy and the expertise. But there's so many pieces of this puzzle. There's like the emotional piece, there's the energetic piece, the execution piece, the clarity piece, like we need to put these pieces together. And we offer multiple ways for folks to work with us, engage our resources and expertise, and do that. So if you know someone who is struggling at work, needs to make a change, make sure you send this episode to them. And if you are struggling at work or want to make a change, or maybe you're not even struggling, you don't have to wait till you're struggling. You can still be proactive and access direction and strategy and support. And maybe we can just avoid the whole struggle thing, more or less, right? People who are proactive often have quicker job searches. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help figure out what service makes the most sense for you, what your needs are, how we can be most helpful. That's what we're here for. And we would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, you can always find me on Instagram. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you have a really great week. Thanks for joining us this week on ReImagining Ambition. While you're here, please hit subscribe or follow, and make sure you always get our latest episodes. And if you'd like endless gratitude from yours truly, please consider leaving a review. It really helps our podcast attract new listeners. If you're looking for a hands-on career, job search, and resume support, well, that's what we do best. Come on over to workwonderscareers.com and learn how we help mission-driven professionals like you make career moves that matter.